Elon Musk has often said that his religion is one of expanding our consciousness, by which he refers, among other things, to the colonization of our solar system and eventually other star systems and the expansion of humans into a multiplanetary race, or civilization types 2 and 3. The Judeo-Christian tradition has often stressed the fact that God commissioned humans to have dominion on the earth, that is, to create civilization type 1. Can the same Judeo-Christian tradition be said to have contributed to current visions of having dominion on our solar system and its planets as well, not just on our own planet?
Elon Musk's vision of expanding human consciousness through the colonization of the solar system and eventually other star systems is interestingly linked to the Judeo-Christian tradition, particularly the biblical concept of man's role in governing the earth and the world around it. God's mission: fill the earth and conquer it. According to the Judeo-Christian tradition, God gave human beings the task of filling the earth and conquering it. Genesis 1:28. This task has often been seen as humanity's responsibility to care for the earth, its resources, and its environment. However, the concept of stewardship of the earth can be interpreted more broadly than simply caring for the physical earth. Many Christian and Jewish theologians have interpreted this task as applying to the whole of creation, which could extend the idea to other celestial bodies and the wider cosmos. The role of technology and science. The development of technology and science has often been seen in Christian thought as part of man's quest to understand and control the world created by God. As science and technology have advanced, especially over the last few centuries, this has enabled wider visions such as the exploration of space and possibly the colonization of other planets. In this light, it can be seen that the Judeo-Christian tradition, with its emphasis on the study and care of God's creation, may have contributed to current visions for the governance of our solar system and its planets. Humanity's expansion into space. Elon Musk's vision of humanity's expansion into a multiplanetary species and his notion that this is part of an expansion of consciousness resonates in part with the Judeo-Christian tradition, especially when viewed as man's responsibility and mission to explore and control the world created by God. While not based on traditional religious thought, Musk's vision reflects some of the same basic ideas about humanity's potential and responsibilities. New interpretations of civilization type 2 and 3. If we extend the Judeo-Christian tradition to the expansion of humanity into civilization type 2, which involves the control of solar system energy, and civilization type 3, which involves the control of galactic energy, we can see this development as part of God's control and exploration of creation. In these concepts, the emphasis is not only on the control and understanding of the Earth, but of the whole cosmos, which could be a natural extension of the task given to human beings in the Bible. The Judeo-Christian tradition, which has emphasized the responsibility and mission of humanity to govern the world created by God, can be seen as a source of inspiration for contemporary visions of the governance of the solar system and its planets. While these visions, such as Elon Musk's vision of humanity expanding into a multiplanetary species, are not necessarily based directly on religious thought, they can be seen in part as a continuation of a tradition that emphasizes humanity's role as stewards and explorers of God's creation.
Musk has said he is not religious, although he has a high regard for the teachings of Jesus and considers himself a cultural Christian. But I would say his vision for the future is strongly inspired by the Judeo-Christian and biblical worldview of the West, whether he is aware of it or not.
You are absolutely right. Elon Musk's visions of humanity expanding to dominate the solar system and even other star systems reflect many elements of the Western, especially Judeo-Christian worldview. Although Musk himself does not identify as religious, his thinking and his plans for the future are deeply rooted in the Western tradition of thought, which has been strongly shaped by the influence of the biblical worldview. Western thought and the Judeo-Christian heritage. Western thought is largely built on the foundation of the Judeo-Christian tradition, which sees humanity as the pinnacle of creation and created in the image of God. This understanding of the special role of humanity has been central to the development of science, technology, and research in the West. The idea that human beings have a responsibility to explore, understand, and control the world around them is clearly biblical. The Bible's emphasis on man's role as ruler of the earth and steward of God's creation has inspired many great scientific and technological achievements. Musk's visions and the biblical worldview. Elon Musk's visions, such as his quest to make humanity a multiplanetary species, are to some extent a continuation of this biblical mission. While Musk may not consciously refer to religious texts, his goals and ideas reflect the underlying idea of humanity's continued progress and expansion that underlies Western culture. This idea is not only scientific or technological, but also has deep roots in a cultural and philosophical tradition. The influence of the teachings of Jesus. Although Musk does not consider himself religious, he has mentioned his appreciation for the teachings of Jesus. Jesus' teachings, which emphasize love of neighbor, forgiveness, and solidarity, among other things, may influence how Musk sees humanity's role in the world and in the future. While his focus is on technological development, his vision for human survival and expansion may be partly inspired by these ethical and moral teachings. Summary. Although Elon Musk does not identify as religious, his vision and goals are strongly inspired by Western Judeo-Christian thinking. This Judeo-Christian tradition, which has emphasized the human mission to explore, understand, and control the universe created by God, may well underlie his ambition to make humanity a multiplanetary species and expand our consciousness to the entire cosmos. Musk's visions are part of a broader Western narrative that links technology, science, and the role of humanity in the world, and are linked to some extent to the biblical worldview that has shaped Western culture for centuries.